Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. And for those of you that have been waiting for like 30 minutes for me to start the live stream, I am so sorry. I'm very sorry. I feel like I at least owe you an explanation of why I got caught up on TikTok. I'm very sorry. So Blu-rays, welcome to my channel. I'm going to be doing a reading for you guys. I didn't realize how much time went by. I just went to go look at one video, and then my husband called, and then I looked up, and then I realized, oh shit, it's been in the queue. I am so sorry. I have a TikTok problem. Oh, stop, girl. Stop. Okay, let's start. I'll deal with my embarrassment later. Let's start. Ooh, here we go. Okay. All right. Blu-rays. Let's see what message comes through for us. There was this person, I don't know, never mind. Never mind. I can't talk about it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I don't know. So, I don't know if you guys are feeling the ramping up of energy. I don't know what it is. It's like a ramping up of energy and a shifting in what you're supposed to be paying attention to. No, I don't. Okay, so, final deck. No, I don't. Michael says I look like I'm naughty or something. No, I don't. I look very well behaved. What are you talking about? I look very well behaved. What are you talking about? That's the card that comes up. Whatever. Whatever. All right, let's get this party started. So that's, and then this, and let's go. Ooh, okay. Card number 42, the word wants to be written. I just like numbers. So the word wants to be written. This card is telling me that there's stuff that kind of needs to be settled, either within you, outside of you, around you, whatever it is, there's unresolved things. 94% at 1122. It's a sense that it's not resolved because you keep pouting. I don't know if you're pouting, but so long as you keep your arms crossed in front of you, you won't be able to allow yourself to receive, to bring things in. You have to make sure you open yourself up fully. Not to just anything and everything, but opening yourself up to whatever it is that you need to experience in this life. Okay. There's a lot of struggle for Blu-rays to allow ourselves to to be fully present in what we're experiencing. I don't know if you guys struggle with this, but the problem with being fully present for a BLUERAY is that it makes us that much more vulnerable. We don't have that barrier, that that buffer zone that keeps us from being overly connected, overly stimulated, overly drained, overly energized. So I think we're going through this period where it's like you're learning how to create buffer zones. You're learning how to allow yourself to be present with still a little bit of a protective measure to keep you from getting overly stimulated or overly drained. You want to remain in a more neutral state as much as possible. You don't want to be overstimulated and you don't want to be overly depleted. Both those states will make it much easier for you to for you to be breached. Let me just cover my head. I don't know what's wrong with me lately. I don't know. Okay. Okay, baby. Here we go. So using humor can be a way to get you to kind of reassess what's going on, to get a better look at whatever the situation is. You don't have to tell jokes to people. You just kind of need to quiet down the intensity by allowing yourself to laugh. Okay? Not laugh at other people, other people's expense, any of that, but just allowing yourself to see the humor in your coping mechanisms. That usually works for me. That usually works for me. I have people sometimes ask me, wondering, feeling as though I'm being dismissive or disrespectful because I'm laughing. Oh, this reading is serious. What's so funny? Well, the shit in my head is fucking funny. And if I say the shit in my head, I promise you'll be crying. I won't. So let me just laugh about this just a little bit so I can temper some of the message and, deliver it in a less cutting way. Okay. So, and I don't even need to explain that to people. That's my own process. And people have to either respect that or not. And if you don't respect that, that's fine. But I'm not going to stop laughing. If shit's funny in my head, it's funny. So card number 32, the moon. The things in my head that I don't share involve things that, because I'm not sharing it, it's hidden. The moon has to do with hidden things. The moon has to do with your shadow aspects, your feminine energy, all of that. It doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is, what your physical gender is. We all have both masculine and feminine energies contained within us. What you do with that energy is totally up to you. You can use that feminine energy to create, or you can use it to destroy. Yeah. I do believe, I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering this. Something about Shiva. Oh, no. It was Kuan Yin started as a man who then began to embrace the femininity. Let me just leave that alone. Let me just leave that alone before I totally mess it up for you. But here's the thing. I have Shiva energy that pops up for this card. I'm not too sure why, but I do know that Shiva's counterpart, one form of his counterpart is Kali, and she's just the darkest of the dark, is able to consume darkness. So I'm wondering if the feminine aspect is now being tasked to consume the things that have been causing so much disharmony within you. And by that consumption, I'm talking about allowing yourself to fully absorb and then neutralize whatever that is. Let's see. Oh, not consumer. I said consume. Eat, drink, or ingest. Use up a resource. Let's see. Ooh, consume, especially a fire, completely destroy. Absorb all of the attention and energy. Consume. So late Middle English from Latin consumere from con altogether, plus sumer, take up, reinforced by French consuma. Where's the live sheet? So this is really about like allowing yourself to take up that energy. One of my personal ways that I travel through my own personal path is that whatever someone tries to do to me, regardless of their intent, especially if their intent is malicious, but regardless of their intent, if that energy approaches me, I'll consume it and I'll store it. I will store it, and if I need to use it to reflect back to you the malicious things you're doing energy-wise, I'll unleash your energy back to you. Because I'm not going to do that to you. I'll let your energy go back to you, though. I'll let all your malicious intent return back to you. I'll keep it in a holding tank until you really just outdid yourself and your maliciousness can no longer be ignored. And then it'll go back to you, amplified, because part of my purpose is an amplifier. So, it's not one of those things where you have to intentionally be someone's karma. But the thing is, sometimes you are. Sometimes you are. And this is something that, as a BLUERAY, I've struggled with this because it's like, well, why do I have to be the karma for everybody? Well, first off, because I have a sense of rebelliousness and unfuckwithableness that the people who have been very, very difficult to teach by their soul through more amicable ways, more docile people, they need to learn somehow. And so then sometimes they're brought to me, not because I'm aggressive unnecessarily, but because I will not take your aggression laying down. I won't take it sitting down. I won't take it standing up. Return to sender. Fuck that shit. And that's sometimes how people have to learn. Return to sender. Fuck that shit. I'm not going to try and hurt you, but I'm not going to take your shit. There's nothing wrong with maintaining your centeredness and balance. Nothing wrong with it. Someone, this is a few years back, someone legit paid someone else to try and curse me. And then they were pissed off that things were happening with their wife. That it was my fault. I didn't do shit to you. I moved on with my life. All that shit that you paid someone to try and do to me, take it back. It's yours. You paid for it. You own it. You take it and keep it. Very simple. Very simple. I don't have to be malicious towards other people. Their maliciousness towards me always goes back to them anyways. It just does. I know that's how it is for me. I don't have to have the intent. I don't have to focus and fixate on that. Whatever you did to me, it goes back to you, usually amplified, because anything that comes near me, it gets amplified. When you come to me looking for encouragement, empowerment, a way to really, really find yourself on your journey, what happens? How many of you were kind of like feeling lost and trying to find a way to find your truth again, and then you come and spend time with me, share space with me, excuse me, and all of a sudden your life makes sense. The things that were very difficult for you to understand, it just, oh shoot, it clicks. Now, not only do I understand this that I was struggling for years to understand, now I understand all this other stuff too, because I'm an amplifier. Whatever intent you have, if it's to learn, if it's to grow yourself, it's to heal yourself, if it's to try and harm me, all of that gets amplified and sent back to you. I don't have to think about this. This is the law of reciprocal reflection. And because I don't allow that shit in, it doesn't affect me. Why do I not allow that shit in? Because you're a sovereign. It's not my place to teach you, consciously choose to teach you anything. The way you learn from me is by being fully present and sharing space with me. That's it. Now, if you want to take on a role as a BLUERAY, if you feel like your job is to save everybody else, to teach people, to guide them here and there and blah, 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 light worker, light whatever, There's a potentiality that you probably are a BLUERAY from one of the fallen lines, 99% 1133. Which is fine. You've fallen. You're experiencing certain things in life to give you an awareness of that fall from grace, or there's a lot of really distorted things going on within your cabeza because of parasitic interference. So, like I said, it's not for me to tell you like, no, you're wrong. It's for me to share my beliefs. If you're open to receiving, if you're open to a conversation, con means with, dialogue, not monologue, then yeah, it's something that can lead to very, very beautiful things. Now, roses are beautiful because of their petals and their thorns. When you mishandle the rose, you have a very high potentiality of thorns. What sets a rose apart from the other flowers? Because of the delicate beauty of her blossom and the presence of those unfuckwithable thorns. You respect her without her having to demand it, without her having to force it. You just know, I could really get fucked up with this one. I could really get fucked up with this one. So you show elevated levels of respect without her having to yell and scream and demand. Just by her existence, just by witnessing her in her existence, you just know. You just know. And the people who want to test the rose's resolve, test her thorns, they then know afterwards too. Do you have to be afraid of the thorns? No. Why? Did you have intent to rip her out by her branches, her stems? No. So then you don't have to be afraid. So the guidance is there. The guidance taking you from your regular human existence and helping you to transcend into your spiritual, elevated, celestial self. With that, you have to make sure, and even with this, like, look, she turned away. You don't necessarily have to be like, if I'm not waiting for the package, if I'm not waiting for the package, then the package is not going to arrive. That's a false belief. You absolutely can continue with your life and then one day realize, oh shit, I've risen above my circumstance. I've risen above my struggles. I've risen above these learning blocks that I've had for so long, and now I'm actually learning. So, Prince of Autumn, dependable, protective, chivalrous, humorous, cautious but wise action, meticulous attention to detail, kindness to others. Cautious but wise action, meticulous attention to detail, kindness of others. That means allowing yourself to open your arms and receive the kind of support that you need at that time. Sometimes the kind of support that you need is not necessarily it's not necessarily like a material thing or a specific pushing through of outcomes or any of that. Sometimes the most powerful type of support is simply knowing without a shadow of a doubt that there are others who are holding space for you, who are like hoping the best for you, praying for you. Where, if you fall, they're there to help pick you up. They're not going to run on your path for you, but they can definitely pick you up and hold you up and kind of encourage you, and then you're off and running again on your own. All right. So card number 13, new beginnings. It's time for you to start over. Start over with what you perceive yourself to be, how you see yourself, the way you value yourself or don't, like all of those things. What's up?
Well, is your car?
Where are you going?
Get my shades. My frame.
Tyler has the key.
I know. You can drive me. Put it back soon.
Do you have your scooter?
Huh?
Do you have your scooter? It's in the truck.
What truck?
Of the car.
Okay.
Okay, card number 13. Don't mind his Tourette's. Whatever, whatever you hear. He has Tourette's for real. So, new beginnings. It's time for you to allow yourself to begin again. Okay, whatever you thought you failed at, you didn't necessarily fail. Whatever you tried to achieve and it didn't happen for you, there's a potentiality that it didn't happen because it was taking you down a detour that you didn't need to go on. There's a potentiality of that. Oftentimes, when I'm trying to go and do something or connect with someone that I'm not supposed to, there will be a lot of hiccups, a lot of failure to connect, a lot of technical issues, just a whole bunch of different things. Well, it's because you're not meant to go there. Your soul is trying to protect you. What are you trying to protect us from? Hold on, guys. I just got like a weird blip. Hello, sir. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's okay. How deep do you guys want me to go into this message? How deep? Like super duper deep, or just kind of like, wading pool deep? Or are we just going to stay on the shoreline and let the water, touch our toes? How deep? Ask yourself. Ask yourself. Because that's the answer for how far you take your lessons. Yeah, I only got one depth, and that's floorless. I'm just saying. I can't not do deep. Michael does some trick ass questions. He's a fucking trick. Supplies! Trick question. He wants you to recognize like how deep you're willing to go. And even if you don't feel comfortable going super deep yet, that's okay. The most powerful thing you can experience is a recognition of where you're at. That was the whole point of that question. That was the whole point, for you to recognize, because what we expect outside of us is probably what's going on inside, or what we're trying to avoid or are afraid of within ourselves. Okay. So, hey, you don't blame me. Michael told me to ask it. Right? Fucking Michael. So part of that, he was trying to calm me down because this is some twin flame shit in this deck. This stack. Send to voicemail. Send to voicemail. Anyways, card number 9, potential. There's so much potential. What? There's so much potential within you, and that potential has totally been locked away. You've locked it away, and here's the really effed up part. If you're not willing to learn what you need to learn, if other people can't trigger your learning process, and this is the lesson that's in the queue, this is it's time for you. It's time. Then that potential has to be tapped into by the presence of someone, a specific someone. I mean, all I can really say is I've been fucking learning. I have been learning. And to the individual who commented in a previous video, if I'm Piscean because I drink coffee like a Piscean. We drink coffee that way because we're not happy. That's why. We're trying to swallow down our salt. Show some gratitude. Sorry. I was talking more to Michael. This is just some bullshit. Card number 21. It's time to lead. Michael says that it's time for me to lead you guys out of this phase of being super angry and being super like hypersensitive about the twin flame, twin ray topic. All I gotta say is I'm a reflection. I am merely a reflection. So who am I reflecting? Maybe it's not just me that's opposed to the whole topic. Maybe it's not just me that's still angry, okay? Brought out my full fucking ratchet from the bay. I'm just saying, that's some bullshit. Card number 21, beyond the mind, the heart beats. The heart beats no matter what you do. The more you strain yourself, the harder that heart will beat. I think my inner child slapped the card out of my hand. So it's just this like, this topic gives me bubble guts. It just gives me bubble guts. I'm being told by none other than hater ass Michael that there's an examination needing to take place. This examination has to do with conversations that were had, like old messages. This has to do with things that weren't said, like the core of what needed to be discussed was not discussed. I mean, all I gotta say about that is I can't do that because hater ass bitches had my account scrubbed off Facebook. So there's no looking back at nothing. For you guys, if you still have old messages, I'm wondering if you need to not look at their current profile, but look at those old messages and see where the conversations were going. See if there was quite a bit of miscommunication, misunderstanding, assumptions. Yeah, you know, like, I don't know. Like, what the fuck is this even about? Are you usually trying to reconcile people? Are you trying to, like, you know, play matchmaker? What is this about? I'm not going to sip my coffee. There's no amount of coffee to decrease the level of my emotional sodium. What is this about for real? Okay. This is a Blu-ray reading. The fuck is this shit? Hold up. Because I don't look at the cards as I pull them out. I feel like there's fuckery afoot. I probably should have looked at the cards before I pulled them out because, All right. Yeah. So twin flame shit. Twin flame shit. It has to do with past lives. It has to do with how one person, the number 4, went against the grain. It has to do with how beyond the mind the heart beats, and that heart is pushing romantic love all over the motherfucking place. It has to do with having the courage to recognize one or both of you are trapped in cycles that you don't want to acknowledge. And it has to do with you raising up your energy and your understanding in order for you to enter a place of being a high priestess of earth. Earth. Embrace the oneness with the universe. So Earth is the problem. Our higher selves have no problem with each other. It's what happens during your time on Earth, either together or separately, that all of this like crazy shit begins to happen. So, I mean, was that enough proof? Was that enough proof? Were the wrinkles in my forehead enough proof? Um, I still don't feel Michael goes, there you go again. Yeah, yeah, because you irritate the shit out of me. You just irritate the shit out of me. King of Summer. Honorable, devoted, mature, warm hearted, a romantic partner you can trust. Excellent advice that comes from the heart. Getting involved in a cultural or creative endeavor. Okay, y'all need more proof. I don't even know what this is trying to prove. I'm just all riled up. So, okay. Honorable, devoted, mature, warm hearted, dependable, protective, chivalrous, humorous. Is this like a laundry list of why? Because, like, I mean, all I have to say to Michael at this point, you want communication between me and another individual? Have my husband tell me to message. How about that shit? I'm just saying. How about that? How about that, huh? How about that? Card number 20, renewal. Review the past and the present so you can plan a bright new future. Understanding your life purpose. Releasing judgments of yourself and others. Well, I won't judge you for trying to be a home wrecker, you fucking trick asshole, Michael. Oh, okay. He told me to calm down because maybe the reading's not even for me. I'm sorry. I was feeling it like he was trying to tell me something. Yeah, no, apparently he's not. Well, you have to go against, well, you've already gone against the grain. I just totally had a tantrum. And then he told me that he wasn't even talking to me. Just saying, you could have told me to calm the fuck down. No, let me go ahead and have my fucking fit in front of everybody. Yeah, neither does mine. Neither does mine. So neither does mine. You know, it's no big deal. Like you can, okay. For me, it's no big deal because I feel like I can still learn the lessons I need to learn on my own. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to learn your lessons without overly depending on someone else. And he tries to correct me by saying, maybe your lesson is in learning that there could potentially be safety in allowing other people to help, other people to assist through the lessons. So, you know, I guess for some of us, maybe we're learning lessons regarding trust, safety. And because how secure do you have to be able to trust other people and know you can handle whatever they're going to do, if it's malicious or a song just popped into my head. Malicious, self-fictitious. Grooves in the heart. Okay, let me do this final thing because oh shit, I gotta get going to my sessions. I'm all pissed off. So pissed off. I hate this fucking subject matter because you keep talking about it. You keep shoving it in my ear and in my face for like years now. Just years. You've been going on and on and on for years. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Let me just. Here goes. All right. 9 of Swords. Tears and frustration. Letting go of emotions. I guess this might be an indicator that it's time for you to not be mad anymore. Okay. I guess it's time for you to not be mad anymore. He's talking to me. He's saying, "What do you mean you?" Because usually I'll say us, and he didn't like that I said you. Whatever. Three of Pentacles, improvements underway, but delays around it. Renown, glory, place of worship. Oh, what the fudge? Okay. Well, this might be okay. So here you are, all upset, overly emo, and then I get this sense, well, maybe it's them. Maybe they're upset. And one person is upset, all crying in a room full of swords. And it's almost like they're ready to go to war. And then the other one is like they're in a place of worship. Like, oh my God. They still worship you. Ain't nobody ever asked you to worship nobody. I'm just saying. Oh, fucking A. Three of Swords, deception, frustration, jealousy, broken heart. Well, that's what happens when you sleep in a room full of swords. You end up getting cut at times. You end up getting stabbed at times. When you live by the sword, you get poked by the sword. So, hold on, guys. What reading is this? What the fuck reading? Is this Twin Flame reading? Oh, that's right. It's a Blu-ray update. You fucking hijacked my reading. Devil in reverse, release from bondage, divorce, recognition of one's needs by another person, overcoming severe handicaps. So now, it's this sense of your extreme emotion, whatever that is, whichever way it goes, it's creating handicaps for you. Ooh, 51% at 11:55. 51% at 11:55. So 3 of Cups. Three of Cups, resolution of a problem, conclusion, solace, healing, satisfactory result, compromise. What's the compromise? Tell me more. Is it more of you talking in my ear? All sorts of fucking bullshit? Or is it actual mutual learning? Learning and what is that? Oh, that's fucking sad. That's sad. That's actually really sad. I don't know who this message is for, but it's this sense of the compromise will be a decision, a mutual decision to allow each other to continue hurting in silence and solitude. That if you need the pain to continue to be there, and it's just this like celestial pain of the human consciousness being so unaware and so unbalanced in the emotions that it affects the celestial connectivity. I don't know if that makes sense, but the higher selves of you and whoever your counterpart is, they've always remained connected. There's never actually been a separation. And sometimes when things that are too intense happen in the human existence portion of it, it creates so much blockage and density in that connectivity that it makes it damn near impossible for the truth of the lessons to really be received. She actually doesn't eat darkness for breakfast. She gets summoned into different planes of existence to reestablish balance through chaos. So they're lower, lesser reflections of her. And it's because of her absolute depth and darkness that it can consume things that are less dense and dark. She's the great rebalancer. She's not the destroyer. The limited human concept of rebalancing is destruction. You know, it's a very limited human view of the truth of her totality. The other side of that Kali coin is Kuan Yin. You cannot have one without the other. They exist on the same plane of existence, on that same plane of being. They are merely differing points of anchoring on the same plane of being. Just like love and hate, they're not opposites. Kali and Kuan Yin are not opposites. Look at the pictures of Kali with all her arms. Look at the picture of Kuan Yin with all her arms. What is that about? The light and the dark of both. So, Page of Swords, spying or deception, reflecting back over your shoulder. So, whatever it is, someone's in a relationship, okay? Maybe both of you are in a relationship, but one person is still looking back at the other. That's what keeps the daggers in place. This refusal to lay down the swords, lay down, I don't know. This is a really tough subject matter to talk about because I don't want my own irritation with Michael to affect the reading, but it's affecting the reading because he's pissing me off. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. Vigilance, agility, spying, a discreet person, an active youth, a lithe figure, a person adept at perceiving, discerning, and uncovering the unknown. So you're dealing with a Scorpio type energy. I mean, if you want to find something out, you task a Scorpio. No joke. No joke. They'll find shit out that you didn't even know existed. So, not talking shit about Scorpios either, like for real. If I really wanted to find out something about you and I couldn't bring myself to look at your shit, I'd go ask a Scorpio. I'd be like, hey girl, can you look at this real quick? Don't do that. Don't do that. Because if you do that, you're going to find the shit that you probably don't want to see. If you do that. So be prepared. You can't later then be pissed off that you found the thing you were looking for. I mean, that's just kind of how it works, right? What you look for is what you'll find. And if you task someone who has exceptional finding ability, that's what you'll find. So King of Cups in reverse, artistic temperament, double dealing, scandal, loss, ruin, injustice, a crafty person without virtue. I'm wondering if this has to do with, because, it's third party, right? I'm wondering if this has to do with the third party circumstance that's going on. Maybe one of them is very crafty. Let's see. Ruin, injustice, a crafty person without virtue, scandal, double dealing. I don't know, you guys. The way I see it, and I've given myself a headache now. The way that I see it, don't do anything that you're going to then be worried someone else is finding out later on, that someone else will find out later on. There's nothing that I do behind my husband's back that, he has all my passwords because I can't seem to keep my shit together. He could just look very easily. Go look. He knows about the interactions and conversations that I've had with an alleged counterpart. I'm not talking about what was it called? Entanglement. No, there was nothing inappropriate like that. I'm talking about just being truthful in the conversations you have. My husband knows all the people that I talk to. All the people which is not many, but he knows. If I talk to another man, just like casual conversation, later on in the day, hey, guess who I talked to today? There's no hidden shit. If you're going to hide shit as a Blu-ray, that's not your job to hide stuff. Your job as a Blu-ray is to uncover truths just by your existence. So what happened when you take the Blu-ray whole like twin ray thing, that's going to cast a huge light on a lot of stuff that I don't know how you feel about it coming to light. I really don't know how you feel about it coming to light. It's just going to create more conflict for you if you're going to continue to be and do and say and live in a way that you don't want other people to know. Like, for real. For real. Like the other day, my husband needed to, I don't know, I think he was installing something for me on my phone or something. And my phone locked on him, and he's like, hey, what's your password for your phone? I was like, you don't know it? How do you not know it? I said that to him, like, you need to know these things. You need to know the password to my phone so you could just enter it at any time. Because I don't want to be bothered to tell you. Just remember it. Okay. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy. Unhappiness, loneliness, possibly a broken engagement or marriage, canceled plans, triumph delayed. So, one is unhappy. I don't know. Hold on. Let's see. There's another thing to this. So this is from Biddy Tarot. She has some really good information on here sometimes. So reverse, inner child, feeling down, overly optimistic. No, Biddy, I would just like the information, please. I don't want any classes or any of that. Let us see. Reversed. The reversed sun is calling to your inner child to come out and play. As adults, we get so lost in the hustle and bustle of everyday life that we forget how to have fun. But just spend a few minutes watching a kid play and you realize how wonderful and carefree life can be when you learn to let go of your worries and concerns. Excuse me. When you see the sun reversed in your tarot reading, see it as your permission slip to leave behind your work and responsibilities, even just for a moment, and play. Dance like no one is watching, sing like no one is listening, and let your heart and soul fly free. This can mean you're struggling to see the bright side of life. You may have experienced setbacks that damage your enthusiasm and optimism and perhaps led you to question whether you can achieve what you set out to do. You may feel depressed or left out and are no longer enjoying what you're doing. Your direction and path ahead may appear clouded or distorted. Nonetheless, the sun is never a negative card. So this is only temporary. The obstacles you see can be easily removed if you put your mind to it. So Michael says that I missed the whole point. You have all the necessary components. You have the sun, the moon, and the earth. The only thing left are the stars. So, ooh, you're fucking poetic today. Okay, Michael Neruda. Acting like he's Pablo. So, here's the thing. We have the sun, we have the moon, we have the earth. The only thing missing are the stars. And the stars you have to release because those are things that have died out. They have completely finished themselves off a long time ago before you ever even became aware that that star existed. That star was done. Each of these stars represent lifetimes and occurrences that have hurt you. Each of these things are all about the history, the very, very rich history between these two souls. And if you continue to try and reach for something, correct something that's already blown itself out. It already imploded, exploded, whatever it is, but it took light years to reach your field of awareness. Then you'll forever be living in shadows. You'll forever be living in regret, anger, and all of these things are not even necessary. They're not even necessary because there's nothing you can do to bring that star back. All you can do is appreciate the brightness that it gifts you every single time it's dark. So when you experience dark moments that have to do with a twin flame, twin ray, whatever it is, and the night is so dark, when the sky opens up and the stars are seen, just appreciate that rich history for what it is, something so beautiful that lights up your darkness. But it doesn't light it enough to blind you. It lights it just enough to keep you gazing, to keep you wondering about what if this, what if that. And it's not the what if so you can change it because you're bitter, because you wish something different for yourself. It's the what if to learn the different potentialities that could have led to different new beginnings so that you can begin shifting the way you see the connection. You can begin shifting to see things. I don't want to ruin the soap opera that I was watching. It was just such a profound message. It was only after both were done and both let go that they were able to really actually come back together and grow. That was amazing. So, Knight of Cups, needing more confidence. You need to approach your life with more confidence. There's nothing you actually have to truly be afraid of. All of this is part of your growth. Are you afraid of getting taller? Are you afraid of well, most people are afraid of getting older. Why is that? Because you won't have value anymore? Like for me, and this isn't something that I was taught, this is just something that I really, really feel strongly about. The older I become, the more valuable I am. Because year after year, I acquire more and more life experience that not just teaches me new things and creates new wisdom, but also helps me to better refine, better expand the things I've already learned previously. It's a ripening of yourself, a growing of your tree, a deepening of your roots in your existence. I become more valuable with age. And people might be like, well, but wrinkles, and every wrinkle on your face is a map of the life you've lived, the journey you've taken in this body. And one day I'll have tons of wrinkles, but those wrinkles will be in places where I experienced awe, where I smiled, the places where I just lived so deeply that it left the line. And I'll definitely keep my face hydrated, moisturized, because guess what? The map of my life that's etched on my face should be as soft as the heart I try to achieve in this lifetime. The key in life is not to become hardened, because there's no power in that rigidity. The truth of power is softness, flexible strength. So remain flexibly strong. Allow yourself to really, really be present 100% at 12-12. Now we're taking the first steps of the journey. 10-10 is a realization a journey needs to take place. 11-11 is the planning and the guidance. 12-12 is the first steps of the journey. We're taking the first steps of our journey. We're needing more confidence as we do this. Card number 8 of Swords, frustrations, feeling bound and gagged. So what if the back of this card is you holding the strings yourself? Both ends of that rope are held, one in each hand. So who is really holding you hostage? Who is really binding and gagging you? Every time you tell yourself to be quiet, every time you tell yourself to swallow your pride, you are adding another binding. Okay? Exactly, Rebecca. Stay moisturized and unbothered, okay, bitches? Let me stop. Thank you for your contribution, Rebecca. Seven of Cups, all that glitters is not gold. Look beyond the clouds. Many improvements, energy improvements, just improvements. I think I'll approve. I was going to say, I think I'll improve when, and Michael says, I don't approve, when I have his head in a chalice. I forgot. We're not in that lifetime anymore. Let me stop. I'll improve when his head is in a chalice. Okay. Yeah. No, we were dramatic in so many different lives. It wasn't just me. I needed a partner to do that with. I'm just saying. It wasn't just me. We were dancing that shit together. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying. Whatever. Okay. Here we go. BLUERAYs. Okay. It's time for you to pause. Okay. Just pause. It's time for you to make a decision. Are you going to go ahead and embrace your earthly existence, fighting your journey? Or are you going to tap back into that phoenix that lives within you? And the way I see it, excuse me, it might help you or you might disagree and, like completely disagree. The way I see it, I've always been a phoenix. So why don't I just enjoy this earthly experience for now? I'm not going to be here that long. I mean, just like 300 years. That's what he said. 300 years. Motherfucker. You better give me some brand new fucking knees then, huh? So, yeah, no, I think I'm going to choose to be a human being in this life. I think I'm going to choose to be fully present and enjoy human things and have human love, human concept of love, human types of bonds, connections, human pain. I can go back to being a phoenix when I'm done here. I don't have to be in such a rush to be some celestial being that I've always been. That's my normal. This is my vacation. So maybe that's what the pause is. Maybe the pause is what this lifetime is. It's just a pause in your celestial journey. And maybe it's time to shift your energy to recognize some of the most beautiful things are in the valleys, the low points of your life. Some of the most beautiful, spectacular places I've been, because I've traveled quite a bit nationwide. I lived in my RV for quite a few years and we just traveled nonstop. We never stayed at a place more than maybe 3 days. And some of the most beautiful places were at the base of mountains where you lose your breath, kneeling in front of something so huge, so profound. And when I lived in Colorado for a bit, when I drove through Durango, the town of Durango, there was this mountain where you could see the tectonic plates shifted. And that's like one of my most favorite things to have seen in that city. We were on the way to Four Corners. You could see all the layers that made that up. You are made of so many layers, and your height, the level with which you can rise, is matched by the depth that you're willing to dive to. Whatever height the mountain is, not far from it is a depth just as deep. However tall the tree can get, the roots go that far deeper. So you have to be centered in this. You have to be centered in this, because if you're not, you lose your footing. You lose your sense of self. You begin to allow other people's words, even Michael's words. It begins to lose. I begin to lose my clarity on what exactly it is that's supposed to happen, what I'm supposed to learn. Like, instead of just being receptive to the messages for Blu-rays, I've spent fucking a portion of this video arguing with him because now I'm pissed off. Why am I pissed off? Because I have this assumption he's asking something of me that I'm not willing to give. But is he asking me to do anything? Or is it more of me recognizing something? And my own rebelliousness to my path is what's causing me to point my finger at Michael instead of recognizing, like you guys said, whenever you point, 3 fingers point back. And is it because I'm hiding something from you guys? Or is it because I've hidden something from myself that is now so obscure that it's hard for me to believe that it's actually there? Bamboo is amazing. It grows very quickly. It's also pretty strong. Bamboo is a material that's used by so many ancient civilizations, especially Asian civilizations, where they use the bamboo as a material to create weapons to practice the art of war. So really, with the remembrance of that, bamboo is a very protective energy. In addition to that, are you living your life by the code of Bushido? There are specific tenets to Bushido. Hold on, guys. Let me find it. La, 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 la. Hold on. Sorry, I looked at something else. Code of Bushido. Bushido. Sorry. Okay. So the 7 virtues of Bushido. Gi is integrity. Rei is respect. Yu is heroic courage. Meiyo is honor. Jin is compassion. Makoto is honesty and sincerity. Chu is duty and loyalty. Do you live with integrity, respect, heroic courage, honor, compassion, honesty and sincerity, duty and loyalty? And it's like the duty and the loyalty, maybe there's a lot of things that have happened over the course of so many different lifetimes that have caused you to confuse the duty and the loyalty, where it's now your duty to be loyal to something that's become toxic. And because of that forced loyalty, it's not really loyalty, is it? It's domination, it's oppression. Is someone else doing this to you, or are you doing this to yourself? That's a good question to ask. And then secondly, because of that, the force of that creates resentment. So maybe that's why you resent the topic. Oh, maybe that's why I resent the topic. I don't know. I still very, very much remember a life. I still remember it. A life where my feelings got hurt, and I won this life, and I was left very much alone. So when you begin to experience the recalling of certain memories, certain feelings, they might not even have a memory, a visual attached, but just the feelings of it. And because it's such an intense feeling, it totally causes you to shut down, shut off, not want to move forward in that growth. Then that's what happens. You don't want to continue processing. You don't want to be in their presence. You don't want, because for maybe an entire lifetime or multiple lifetimes, all you did was what you thought they wanted. And where did that get you? Locked up in a tower. No towers in this life. Sorry. So, yeah, maybe I should rename this reading Twin Flame reading, because that's where it went. That's where it went. Yeah, I'll add it in the title. All right, guys, I gotta go because I'm over this topic and I'm over Michael. Just being honest. If you could please give this video a thumbs up, I would really appreciate that. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on your notification bell. If you're watching the recording of this, please comment your twin flame journey. I would like to know I'm not alone in this bullshit. So please comment whatever you want to share about your twin flame journey. We in this together. Bye, guys.